Hello friends, welcome back to Daily Movie Recaps. A new movie recapped, every single day. Today, we will recap an American science fiction action film, The Matrix Resurrections, released in 2021. Spoilers up ahead, so watch out. Enjoy the recap. At the beginning of the movie, a lady is seen writing codes within a building and some police officers are attempting to apprehend her. Just then, a group of agents arrives in the basement, prompting a police officer to respond that his men will deal with the women. Bugs, the captain of a hovercraft named Mnemosyne, encounters a program running old code, involving Trinity's discovery of Neo's location, before agents of the Matrix finds her. She seems to be working with her crew inside one of the isolated nodes of the Matrix. When Bug notices one of the agents acting abnormally, she realizes he is the embodiment of Morpheus and assists in his release from the node before it is wiped. Cut to the next scene, we are introduced to Thomas Anderson, who is an aspiring game developer. With the help of his boss Smith, Thomas has built a trilogy of games based on his Matrix visions. In his newly produced game, he is seen experiencing some issues and attempting to resolve them. At work, a coworker named Jude approaches Thomas and offers him a cup of coffee at a nearby cafe. They then go to a local coffee shop where Thomas keeps running across a married woman named Tiffany, who reminds him of Trinity in his dreams. Later, Jude approaches Tiffany and introduces Thomas and himself to her. At work, Thomas begins rechecking the mistakes in his freshly built game, Binary. He meets with Smith, who inquires about his mental health and his session with the analyst, his therapist. Next, we see Thomas having a therapy session at the analyst's office. He is very confused since he frequently has visions of his previous life as Neo. He has problems distinguishing between dreams and reality, but his therapist chats with him and prescribes blue tablets to help him maintain his sanity. The analyst fills his blue pill prescription and reminds him to take them on a regular basis, as well as assuring him that the world he is in is the real one. The following day, the whole office team meets in a meeting room to discuss ways to improve their new game, Matrix 4. During the moment, Thomas refuses to take the medicine that his therapist had previously recommended for him. Later we see Tiffany and Thomas at the same coffee shop. Tiffany starts the conversation by congratulating Thomas on his new Matrix video game. She tells him that she likes his game and wonders whether he modeled the game's main character after him. Thomas agrees with a nod of his head. She goes on to say that she, too, gets similar visions of him. She believes Trinity, the game's primary female character, is more like her. After the conversation, Tiffany departs while saying they will meet soon. As she is leaving, Thomas gets visions of Trinity leaving him. While Thomas is working on his codes in the office, he hears an emergency alarm go off across the building. He storms out to discover that a 14-year-old lad has filed a complaint about the game's new update, Matrix, and that the cops have arrived to order everyone to evacuate and lock the area. Suddenly, Thomas receives a message on his phone, requesting that he come to the restroom if he requires answers to the questions he is seeking. A confused Thomas then proceeds to the restroom where he discovers Morpheus waiting for him. He is shocked to see Morpheus, a character that he created for his game. Morpheus gives Thomas a red pill in order to return to the real world and rediscover his reality, but he refuses. Thomas doesn't believe Morpheus when he tells him that the mirror gate is still accessible if he wants to return to his world. Just then, some police officers enter the room and begin firing at them. Morpheus fights back valiantly, eliminating the cops who are attacking them. When Smith comes in the middle of the commotion, he discovers a pistol on the floor and Morpheus calling Thomas by the name Neo. Suddenly, he finds himself at his therapist, analyst's sessions. He tells him what he's been using, but the analyst appears to already know. He states that Thomas has told him about the incident several times and that he is fully aware of every detail. He reveals to Thomas that he is stuck in a loop in his head and advises him to clear his thoughts. At night, Thomas is spotted at the top of a skyscraper, thinking about the analyst's words to clear his thoughts. With a bottle of liquor in his hand, he is talking to himself about how to liberate himself. He believes that if he leaps from the building, he would be free and able to fly. As he is ready to jump, Bugs arrives and pulls him back. She attempts to persuade him that he is the creator of the game Matrix and that he is now trapped in the virtual world. She informs him that it was he who helped her recognize her true calling. She goes on to say that if he wants all of his questions answered, he must follow her. Jude calls him at the moment, but Bugs reveals to him that Jude is just a bot created to keep him engaged in the virtual world. She then invites him to accompany her by opening a doorway on the rooftop that emanates a dazzling light. Both of them arrive in a strange world after accessing the passage, where she brings Thomas into a theater-like chamber to Morpheus and Sec, Bugs' assisting hand. Morpheus discloses to him that he is a prototype, not the genuine one. The actual Morpheus died a long time ago, but his thoughts live on in him. They try to play footage from Thomas' prior life, which we saw in the first half of Matrix, in the hopes of restoring his memory. They also inform him that the machines have abducted them and are keeping them in cryogenic sleep by exploiting their abilities and memories. They also reveal his true age and identity, demonstrating that he has been programmed to appear younger to others. They then offer him the red pill, which will transport him back to his original body. After taking the tablet, Thomas begins to feel dizzy. He touches a mirror in front of himself and is surprised to find it as a portal to the real world. When he breaks it down, he discovers the analyst on the other side of the mirror, holding his hand and attempting to persuade him that he is already in the real world. Their system is immediately hacked by Matrix's virtual world agents. After Bugs and his gang successfully transport Thomas to a train in China, they assault them. The bots inside the train have also been triggered by the virtual world's operatives to attack them. We get to see one of the most thrilling battle scenes in the whole film. Sek informs them that he can obtain a portal by using a little mirror in the train's restroom. Thomas is then persuaded by Bugs to enter the mirror and return to his true self. Entering through the mirror, Thomas struggles to untangle himself from all of the pipes that run through his body. While he is doing so, a bee-like robot appears and transports him to Bugs and Sek of the real world. Neo aka Thomas meets with Morpheus, who reveals to him that he knows him better than anybody else and claims to know exactly what he requires, like in previous Matrix films. He goes on to say that the Matrix system has made him weak and frail and that he needs to get back into shape. The scene then shifts to a chamber in the middle of the forest, where Morpheus is ready to fight Neo with his kung fu style. Morpheus initially has the upper hand over Neo, but when he reminds him of Trinity, Neo concentrates all of his energy and delivers a solid power punch to Morpheus, destroying the entire chamber they are currently fighting in. In the following scene, Neo awakens from his slumber and discusses with Bugs on how to reclaim Trinity. Bugs introduce him to his entire crew, who are ecstatic to finally meet Neo. He also gets to meet the bee-looking robots who assisted in freeing him from his pod. Following that, he is taken to the Mnemosyne where he is reunited with an old Niobe. Niobe reveals that 60 years have elapsed after the conclusion of the machine war in the actual world, and the human survivors have joined forces with the machines to keep the system running against an anomaly. Niobe leads Neo to visit Sati, an exile program he's met before, who reveals that the anomaly was established after the machine war and had restored Neo and Trinity while isolating them from the rest of the world. Despite Neo's desire to save Trinity, Sati cautions that there may be consequences. Niobe orders Neo to remain outside the Matrix, but Bugs and others agree to defy her orders to try to help free Trinity. Neo and Bugs enter the Matrix to coordinate activities within and outside the Matrix, but are confronted by Agent Smith and other exile programs that wish to see the Matrix restored to its previous state. While Bugs and her team battle the exiles, Neo confronts Smith, gradually recognizing his prior skills to change the laws of reality within the Matrix. With Smith defeated, they take Neo to Tiffany's repair shop, but before Neo can talk to her, his therapist, the analyst, appears and slows down the time. The analyst exposes himself to be a powerful software that investigates the human psyche. He saw Neo and Trinity's deaths at the conclusion of the machine war, but he built the resurrection pods to learn more about them. Over several iterations, he discovered that while the two were not very exceptional on their own, when they worked together, they were able to overwhelm the system. As a result, the analyst has been managing the most recent iteration of the Matrix in order to keep the two close but not too close. As the anomaly has been destabilized, the machines have prepared to reboot the Matrix, but the analyst has put that on hold. If Neo does not return to be reinserted in his pod, he threatens to kill Trinity. When another spacecraft loyal to Niobe returns the Mnemosyne to Io, Neo and Bugs are forced to leave the Matrix. Neo begs Niobe to let him come back and try to liberate Trinity once more, and she ultimately agrees. The analyst invited Neo to a challenge. If Trinity offers to leave Matrix, Neo will take her. If she refuses, Neo will return to the Matrix forever. Neo accepts. After that, we see Trinity, as Tiffany, being taken to them, and her family emerges when she is asked about her return. She appears to want to accompany them at first, but she quickly rejects this act and realizes herself as Trinity. Before Smith intervenes, the analyst prepares to murder them. In the meanwhile, Agent Smith arrives, briefly halting the analyst and allowing Neo, Trinity, and the others to flee. Neo and Trinity rush forward to allow Bugs and the others enough time to evacuate, but the analyst unleashes a swarm of controlled humans on them. With nowhere else to go, the two sprints into a tower, where Neo expects to be able to fly them away. Trinity, on the other hand, has come to learn to fly. and the two of them manage to escape and reclaim control of the Matrix. Following this, Neo and Trinity confront the analyst, informing him that if he tries to grab control of the Matrix again, he will meet terrible consequences. After that, both Neo and Trinity escape to redesign the Matrix and the movie ends. Please leave a like or comment to let us know which movie you would like to watch next. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. This way you'll never miss any movie recap again. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.